Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn top left side as the red Japanese, we have LemoJack. Spawning as the time-old enemies, the Italians, we have Korkhov. Korkhov? Korkhov? I have no idea. Sounds Slavic to me. By the way, let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. Japanese are infantry civilizations. Fishing ships gets times 2's health, plus 2 armor, and faster warp rate, which makes, and this map does have some fishing opportunities, so there's actually a decent map for our Japanese right there. And lumber mills, mining camps cost 50% less. That's okay, nothing too significant. And we do have the infantry tax 43% faster starting feudal age. Just makes it so militia rushes can't do all too much unless he gets a feudal timing push with a feudal age research. Or being grabbed as well. Of course, the Japanese unique units are the samurai. They specialize in taking on other unique units. Unique techs are the yasuma, which it gives powers extra arrows, which is always very nice, and kapaterios, which gives trebuchets pack faster, fire and pack faster, which is very nice, but also makes it so they pack so quickly that if you pack them up while the rock is in the air, it will actually do no damage. Unable to disrupt the fishing ships. And the more durable fishing ships will make them much harder to take out in harassment. For the Italians, we of course got the advanced tech next age costs 15% less, very nice, and I think we do have some fire galleys in the middle of the map. They do have some fire galleys on both sides at the moment. Blue Scout getting some good harassment on in. Docks and university technologies cost 30% less. Fishing ships cost 15% less. Not as great as times 2 health, but still very nice nonetheless. Gunpowder units cost 20% less. That's also very nice. Genoese crossbowmen. They are an archer that's also effective versus cavalry. And Continero, which is an anti-gunpowder infantry unit, which can be quite nice. They're also a good alternative to champions, since they don't have any technology costs other than the armor and the melee. They're actually a very much easier transition to, rather than trying to go for the full champion line. Red has a whole bunch of fire ships advancing forward. And he's actually hitting the fishing ships as well. He needs to focus the fire ships, but he's actually going straight for the fishing ships, trying to deny the fish and chips. Because if you deny the fish, you deny fish and chips. You may not be able to deny potatoes, but you're able at least to deny the fish. Wait, that's Demolition Raft. Looks like we do have Demolition Raft for the Italians. Very nice. This is going to lead the charge of the Demolition Raft. Demolition Raft is very... He does have a nice spread formation there. It does splash 2 of those fire ships there. None of them are wounded. Blue's fire ships are very healthy. And we do got these fishing ships over here. They're a little bit wounded. Red is not have... Red somehow has naval superiority while not having actual naval superiority, because right now he is weaker at the moment. But now we do have another demolition raft and a fire galley for Red. He does have a nice spread formation deployed out as well, which prevent that demolition raft from doing extra damage. Red has 2 demolition rafts advancing forward. These guys are very, very bunched up. He's providing good escort. He's going. If he could back them off to a corner, that'd be great. Demolition rafts now connect with each other. Red has a demolition raft charging on forward as well. He gets a great splash hit there as well. Now Red has the advantage. Now fire galley for Red. Blue has gone down. And the other one's severely wounded. Does use the demolition raft to take out one of Red's fire galley, but didn't do much splash damage there. And the fire galley was actually pretty wounded, so it was actually, I think, a relatively good trade for Red, actually. Because he wasn't going to get much more use out of that fire galley. He was getting double, like triple or quadruple team. And took off demolition raft with him. I think that was actually a good trade for Red. We have a handful of galleys, not war galleys, but just regular galleys for Red as well. We've got the scout pushing its way forward. Looks like the only thing on the production queue for Blue is villagers. 7 at that. Red is going for some regular galleys as well as a worker as well. Let's use a demolition raft onto that fire galley there as well. We got another demolition raft there. The extra health of the fishing ship saved it. Does have a good number of war galleys as well. Able to provide some good backline support. Taking out these fire galleys quite quickly. Fire galleys have 6 damage, and so and the fire galleys only have 4 pierce armor, so it's able to take 2 damage per arrow. And Red's fire galley survives with 1 HP. Does get another good wave of galleys, so now it's time for an attack. He should send that fire galley to charge forward to draw any sort of demolition raft aggression. Let's see if they have any demolition rafts. We got 2 fire galleys in the build queue. Taking out the fishing ships. Fishing ships. I'm getting that mixed up now. But he has 3 docks on the field. Only 2 production queues going. Blue's going for Castle Age right now. Red is going for Castle Age as well. Looks like Blue will get his first. Docks are receiving a bit of fire there. Now we do have the scout now whacking away a palisade wall. I'm not sure why he's pushing these galleys over here. But Blue has... Did he cancel those fire galleys? It may have. Is that demolition ship? That is not a fire galley. That is not... That may be a full demolition ship on the build queue. Or demolition raft. Yep, it just has a different icon because of the tech up. Red will claim the sea. And I got the scout now showing the house who's boss. Looks like Blue's transition to archers. And Red now has his own Castle Age now. He's going for fishing nets, he's going heavy in fishing ships, and he's getting... Could go for the war galley upgrade as well. Got 1 of these demolition raft, he's queued that up, so when his opponent advances forward, he's going to do a quick spawn to blow up his opponent. Red is also walling up this region right there. We have a house schematic there, but it's not anywhere built, so it will not be able to block these crossbowmen that are advancing forward. Down south, we do got these goats being claimed. Red does find some goats as well. And we do have a blue builder here, and it looks like it does get spotted right there. We do have the outpost being pulled out as well. He does have a wall, just a wall. As well as a bit of gold there inside his wall. Villager's going to be duking out versus the scout, and the scout will lose. These crossbowmen do spot that relic at least, and it looks like the dock has not de-garrisoned that demolition raft. In fact, waiting a long time could net him a easy ambush. His opponent won't be focusing on this all too much, but he does actually respawn in time. Demolition raft does go down. Crossbowman advancing forward will find town center here. It looks like Red will be shanking that villager. There's an outpost there. The outposts do spot each other. It's just standing there menacingly. Gold miner is receiving quite a bit of fire from these crossbowmen, and we do have a monk on the build queue for Red. He needs something to deal with these crossbowmen. Don't know if he even has a stable yet. Over here, we do have, looks like fishing traps being collected. You gotta be careful. I have something I noticed as well. If the fishing traps are too close to each other, they do cause some issues with pathing. I recommend spacing them out every other one. We gotta stay being put out, trying to get out some scouts over on the crossbowmen. I'm guessing scouts, it could be knights. We got another wave of crossbowmen here. Looks like these galleys gonna start picking apart these houses. Slowly. Red has claimed the relic, very good. We do have 0 relics for both sides so far. And Red is losing a number of his villagers, but it does have fishing ships. Does claim one of the crossbowmen there, getting some free shots in. Blue focus down, now we have a knight charging forward. Since he sees the crossbowmen, he's going to transition to knight for defense. He won't be able to pull out any infantry anytime soon, because infantry just not very useful most of the time. But honestly, getting out some transport ships and perhaps landing some swordsmen over here wouldn't be half bad. Start hitting some of the buildings as he starts responding. Just put them back to the transporter and get away safely. Got some more houses here. They provide pathetic amount of vision. Blue will lose this house here. Let's see if that population blocks him. Close. Fishing ships will be claiming to arrest these fish. And over here we do have these crossmen advancing forward. Both sides are at Castle Age. Got wheelbarrow being researched by Blue. Red is going straight for Imperial Age. I wonder if it's going to be going for it. Maybe it's going for the trebuchets. He could perhaps get his unique technology, put some good guard towers along the flanks, and then focus on the Navy to deploy out some units. What can the Japanese player deploy in gunpowder-wise? He can't get bombard cannons. He can get hand cannoneers. Where's the Navy line? He can get cannon galleons as well as elite cannon galleons. So you could deploy out some ships here. There's an inlet here, so cannon galleons can reach quite far. Maybe not be able to reach the town center, but we'll be able to reach everything else. And there was a castle that was canceled there. But cannon galleons are actually a possibility. There's some more fishing traps there. Very nice. Do some various defenses. Overall, and looks like Blue's going to deploy out forward the castle, which will be able to take on these galleys. Doesn't really warrant. The castle does not. It's not really needed to warrant to fight galleys. They're just galleys and unupgraded, not very useful for extended amount of time. And he's about to get Imperial Age now. I believe cannon galleons would be a good option for the Japanese player. I'm gonna fast forward. So far it's a little bit slow. He's slowly picking apart these housing and does get more housing return. Let's put the castle there. Let's now contest the seas with his thanks to his castle providing some distance. Switch over to Blue. He's getting out some fire galleys. They may be fire ships. Got some now war galleys deployed down the field. He may need to hop forward for another castle in order to help secure the seas, but Red, is he? We do have chemistry being researched by Blue. Chemistry, they're both in pure age right now. And now we do have a handful of cavalry archers for the Japanese players. I was not expecting cavalry archers. So he can get heavy, he can get Parthian tactics, he can get actual good cavalry archers. He doesn't have a civilization bonuses like the other designated cavalry archer civilizations, but Japanese are Swiss Army knives. They have very, very good versatility. And so they are getting some actually good cavalry archers. And these cavalry archers are streaming in, getting a number of infantry villager kills. Blue is ahead on villager count by a good margin. Red does have 2 relics, opponent does have 1. They are getting picked apart by these Genoese crossbowmen. Okay, yeah, Genoese crossbowmen will rip apart cavalry archers because they're an anti-cavalry unit. Demolition rafts. Ooh, triple kill. Demolition rafts does take out those fast fire ships. We do have potentially more fire ships of its own. Looks like there's regular fire ships, not fast fire ships. Can you get, what level of fire ships can he deploy out as Japanese? He can get out the entire line. He can also get shipwrights if needed. He's going to need he does have, of course, chemistry. He can deploy out cannon galleons. He needs to resecure the seas in order to get out his elite cannon galleons, or even just regular cannon galleons to hit that castle in the dockyards. That is the next step for the Japanese players. He's going to need to reclaim the sea. Let's take out some of these fishing ships, but they're providing good food income, that's for sure. In fact, he has 0 farms. Nope, there's farms up there. Never mind. I lied. Sorry about that. Fast fire ships are, of course, faster than fire ships. It's another name. We got more fire ships being put up by Red now. Red needs to hit these other ones. They're just doing a general move order. I'm not sure what they're doing. We're just getting good engagement here, focusing down one at a time. Fire ships have 3 attack, and fire ships only have 2 attack, but they all have really good pierce armor, so they all do 1 damage. I'm not sure about the rate of fire, though. They may have higher rate of fire, but if they're the same rate of fire, all comes down to health. Now we've got the fast fire ship upgrade, stalling out his opponent, and now collapsing on in with his own fast fire ships. Now, do you have some bombard cannons deployed out by blue? Cannon galleons could hit the bombard cannons. Is that an actual counter? We do have some now demolition ships being deployed on out. And he doesn't really need the demolition ships. He has enough fast fire rafts. Not getting out of cannon galleons just yet. Here the bombard cannons are hitting the mining camp now. And we got some more fishing ships over here to try and collect the various fishies. Not necessarily fishing traps. He's going straight for the fishing trap there. Does quickly take it out. But the fishing ships are still alive and they're not doing anything at the moment. Does take out these 2, so perhaps take these 2 ships and put them over here. Notice the fast fire ships, they find an angle on this dock to take it out. Now we do have, it looks like a handful of arbalists and bombard cannons advancing forward. It does have some defensive skirmishers, which is very good. Arbalists do go down. The bombards are trying to hit those skirmishers. Not going to be successful. Cavalry archer does go down. Does take out the Genoese crossbowmen. Villager count is still against the Japanese player. He does have a massive reserve of stone. His opponent has enough stone as well for a castle. Japanese player has a massive reserve of gold. Small stockpile of wood. He may be transitioning to something. He's using his food and wood for more skirmishers. He needs more villagers though. He's gonna also get the fast fire ships to engage the fast fire ship quickly. Now the scout's going to be overrunning that bombard cannon. He can get out only light cavalry, no hussars. Only right now going for more arbalists, fire ships, bombard cannons, and light cavalry. He can get out. He can research hussars, and only up the cavalier. Got more fast fire ships being built out. He's trying to clear out this blank potential. And it looks like they're boost down to 1 fire dock right now. Lose defensive 4 of a massive 4. Skirmishers can get overwhelmed. Sorry about that. My voice is starting to go out. Light cavalry research just been completed for the Japanese player, but they quickly get picked apart. Hussars are starting to whittle away these elite skirmishers. And Blue's pulling out some forward structures. Red's eyeing for a somewhat defensive, somewhat forward castle. There's a lot of stables here. Does the Japanese player have murder holes? He does not have murder holes. You may want to research that sooner rather than later. But do have some bombards in the region. Got some more skirmishers in this region. Does get the castle now. Trying to go for a... Oh, he's trying to claim that gold. And he's actually going to trap the hussars in front of the castle there. Nice little wall up there. This area is blocked off by the spearmen. Very good. And just go ahead and get these guys inside that castle as well. We'll have a lot of extra arrows there. Spearmen, while they're not upgraded, they at least have good attack rate. We got some samurai deployed on out. No special units going to take out, but still beefy melee unit. But really lacking any upgrade. All upgrades, really. Bombard cannons hitting that castle. They need to hit those bombard cannons as soon as possible. We have more and more samurai deployed on out. It's getting some more melee armor for samurai now. The hussars are, I think, nearly fully teched out. Looks like they are fully teched out, barring some melee arm or melee attack. We got now a defensive, our castle being put out by blue as well. These hussars are getting ripped apart by that castle. Red, the Japanese player needs to get out his own, needs to get out some cannon gallons and engage this castle, as well as the bombards. He has the naval superiority, he might as well use it. Japanese player still has not a lot of villagers, a lot less villagers. Got multiple bombards hitting Red's castle. He does have a bit of stone, but not an infinite reserve. Going on the trebuchet, I'm not sure if he has the research to make it faster, fire faster, and deploy faster. Rolls a miss on the bombard cannon. It's going to be hard to hit the bombard cannon. Does get a direct hit there as well. And now the skirmishers are hitting the other bombard. This will save the castle. There's still 2 more bombards left. Skirmishers getting good hits on this one. The castle does go down. Or the stable, I should say. Stables are under fire. Has a handful of now pikemen. Can he get out halberdiers? He can get a halberdier research. Push your way forward, trying to hit those skirmishers. We've got pikemen in the mix as well. The pikemen should do some great damage. Even the fire ships getting in the mix. But we'll get ripped apart by the castle. Oh, stays alive. The castle got a wide burst there. Bombard cannon does go down right there. Does get some stone walls to help support the trebuchet. Down south, just got some walls, outposts, and other various non-important stuff. Now looks like got some more war galleons being put out. We got pikemen research now deployed out, getting some infantry armor now. Large number of Argos in the region. The castle doing some great work versus them. He has plenty of stone for repairs, just got fully repaired. Pikemen are ripping apart those hussars. They do not stand a chance versus Japanese pike or halberdiers. Skirmishers getting some good damage in as well. Pikemen starting to get picked on off, or halberdiers. Has a good number of reserve of skirmishers, so that Argos cannot really advance very far forward. Do have the bombards advancing forward. See what the Italian player is going for at the moment. Just more hussars. He has plenty of villagers. It's got quite a bit of research. I don't know what he should go for. He has hand cannoneers available, which would be useful for the halberdiers and skirmishers. He could go for the hand cannoneers. Genoese crossbowmen's not going to be useful. Well, they're still archers. They're still going to be useful. Like, you may want to eye for some more hand cannoneers. See, you can get out onagers, but doesn't have siege engineers for increased range. So yeah, I think maybe just he's going for shipwright and more navy. And it looks like Blue's going to transition to going down south. He's going to just be aggressive down south since he's having trouble advancing to the north. His opponent has a good defensive force. Trebuchet will slowly pick away at the buildings. He has no other real siege unit, and now finally got out elite cannon galleon, or just a cannon galleon. That cannon galleon needs to fall back. There's a massive wave of fire ships now deployed on the field. Red has lost naval superiority at this moment in time. The galleon will go down. He's going to bring his skirmishers, but they're not going to accomplish all too much. Does have the castle to support as well. Finds a good hit there. Takes out none of those ships as well. Very good. And blue is... There is a house here. Let's see what does a house spot. Does spot at least the outpost there. Does have decent vision. Thanks also to monk as well. It looks like it's going to hit that castle now with his trebuchet. I'm not sure where Blue's army is. Looks like got villagers making their way here. And the fire ship's going to be breaking the Red's hold on the navy. On the... Not navy, on the sea. Migration of villagers. And looks like the village is going to go ahead and shank a monk. Fast fire ship does get picked off there. He needs to keep his guys grouped up together. Now it's maybe time to get out that Yasuma towers. He actually is going for the various tower upgrades. The Yasuma towers would be very useful to protect his docks. The extra arrows would be very handy indeed. Now there's some cannon galleons here. This cannon galleon is going to receive some trebuchet fire. And Blue's going to advance forward with his infantry. The halberdiers will take a bit of time to deal with any structures. So will the skirmishers. We've got a defensive castle over here. It's a good position there. And Red has put out some defensive stone walls. We got multiple trebuchets here, sieging down these blue docks. Down south, we got a big wave of Arbus advancing forward. They will have trouble versus this castle. The castle's on the high ground and maybe out of range of cannon galleons as well. Trebuchets gains some hits there on the ships, takes out a couple ships as well. Definitely has the task of packing up and deploying trebuchets right there. Does have some exposed bombard cannons you may find. Got some Genoese crossmen as well in this region. Does got one of the bombards there. Very good. Another bombard will go down. The last one will survive. Does have a handful of cannon galleons out in the field as well. Looks like he does get some good hits there on these fast fire ships. Red has redeployed out a large wave of fire ships. Should be able to overwhelm the cannon galleons. Even may lose them to the castle. Probably would be worth to dive in on those cannon galleons. Red's advancing forward for halberdiers and trebuchets. Arbus are advancing forward, but do have a good defensive group of skirmishers. They both have 8 range, so and does delete one's own wall segment. Okay, I was going to say maybe it's a bad idea to delete your own wall segment, but he does either way. He looks like he's doing a lot of overkill there. I could be mistaken there. Yeah, a lot of overkill. Red Sword advanced forward with a bunch of halberdiers advancing forward. We've got a good wave of scouts here, but halberdiers, especially Japanese ones, will rip them apart. Looks like all those skirmishers did go down. Halberdiers are streaming on in. Trying to follow these structures. Does get a nice little engagement there with his own Halberdiers, trying to rush down these trebuchets. He's sustaining a lot of attrition damage there. Oh, he goes past the trebuchets. I'm not sure where he's going. Trying to hit the villagers. Does get a wall off there. There's also now Yasuma towers in the region as well. Walling off some more paths there. Getting full wall offs there, allowing his various defense structures to get some good work in. He does find this lumber line there, but will potentially be ripped off by the castles. Halberdiers, skirmishers, and trebuchets are advancing forward. Blue's losing some infrastructure. And he does manage to stop these hussars. Red has down to 99 villagers, so his opponent's at 119. Blue's lost a lot of infrastructure along the sea, and is building more infrastructure with a high ground castle as well. Arbos advancing forward will find this water mill. And a number of those archers down. Oh, howdy, I just saw your rumble rant. I got a bit focused on it. Having trouble hearing me? Am I a little bit too quiet? Oh well, a little bit too late for that. That may help out a little bit. Improve the gain of my microphone. Arbos are advancing forward, trying to engage these various villagers. And now we've got the trebuchets pushing way forward, quickly packing on up. Not a whole lot of defenses remain in this region. These Arbos will make their way forward, going to get a lot of archers, or not archers, villagers. But won't be able to get a lot of infrastructure, while Blue will be losing a lot of infrastructure with these trebuchets. And halberdiers to boot. Got a good big wave of skirmishers advancing forward. Looks like at least 15, 14. Blue's trebuchets are now in the mix. Everything going straight for the town center. Oh, no, hitting the arbalists. Hitting this town center now. And he actually is going to set up on this wood line there as well. Does lose a number of villagers there. Red is down right now 98 villagers. Blue has shrinking down quite quickly. I'll be advancing forward, but they will not do much versus these hussars. Red has a massive stockpile of gold of over 3,000. He could take time to start researching some elite infantry. At least the infantry upgrades. Maybe not the swordsman and longswords, just go for straight samurai. He has plenty of gold, plenty of wood, just lacking food. We got some, nope, fishing ships are not a possibility, but could potentially put out more of a navy, queue up a navy, put inside the docks, and then get a massive wave through. But right now he's just going straight for his opponent's face. He's going straight for the throat. Blue's lost his entire force over here. Could keep these skirmishers in this region just to be safe. Still got a good number of skirmishers and halberdiers in this region. Got a big wave of hussars. It does look like to cancel his own market there in order to help flank, but it doesn't actually allow his own halberdiers to push into those hussars better. Monastery could go down, denying what little gold income he has remaining. There's still some gold nodes around here, and even back here that could be reclaimed. Though Red has plenty of gold, doesn't need actually more gold. Blue has a good naval force trying to get rid of the rest of these structures. A couple of Yasuma towers could protect them. Trebuchets advance forward, gains some good hits there on the mills and everything else. This is not looking good for Blue. Blue has 106 villagers, Red has 100, so they have a similar number. But right now, he's losing a lot of infrastructure. He's getting a big wave of hussars, but they won't do nothing versus Japanese halberdiers. They will get ripped apart like all the other times before. He needs to get some gold and get out some hand cannoneers. He's been needing to focus more and more on hand cannoneers. They don't require any sort of upgrades to make them effective. And they will be effective versus the skirmishers and the halberdiers. This castle will go down, and the trebuchets are going to start hitting the rest of this infrastructure. We got a big wave of skirmishers, good idea. And these scouts, the Salazars, get ripped apart by the halberdiers in no time flat. And as much as they're going for the navy, he perhaps now at this point in time has too much of a navy. Just go switch to Gaia just so we don't hear all those notifications. Red is advancing forward, getting some good hits there onto these skirmishers. We've got multiple archer rangers going on down. Right now, Blue's defense force is very small. Red is just streaming in forces. This game is basically over. Yep. Yep, this game's just over. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit because right now it's more just trying to regroup forces, but he has nothing really threatening the trebuchets, and he's losing a lot of infrastructure. If you take a look how much resources Blue has, he has less villagers now, no relics now. No gold. Has decent reserve of food and small amount of wood. One thing he can really deploy out, engage his opponent's forces is mass skirmishers. They're at least decent versus halberdiers, but he needs to spend whatever gold he can get on those engineers. There's also a relic there as well. Castle's under siege. He's going to hit the dockyards next. Blue's even just ready. Have villagers queued up here, not being tasked anywhere. Try and go for another town center. Now, castles will help. He is fighting his trebuchets. I have no idea what he should try doing, other than I mentioned before, engineers. He is going to get some gold here, which actually is very important. But Red has vision of this. He does not have naval superiority to support out. Got these skirmishers engaging these various fire ships. And the halberdiers are starting slowly cleaning up these various forces. And Blue has finally surrendered. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.